I think the weather is probably going to be the nicest here that it will be across the entire United States because
Wow.
there's extreme heat building. The
Yes.
central and eastern United States, they're expecting temperatures to get upwards of 100, 110 degrees. So, hey, I think we can handle 70s and 80s here in the Bay and 60s
great.
directly along the coast. It's nature's air conditioning. So, hey, if you're visiting from somewhere that's dealing with the extreme heat right now, appreciate the fact that it's comfortable out here in San Francisco. It was blue skies and sunshine all day long. It didn't take long, though, for a few more of those upper level clouds to begin working their way in. Those upper level clouds are a signifier of a bit of a cool down on the way. Not a huge cool down, just a couple of degrees cooler. And again, let's appreciate the fact that we're actually seeing a few degrees below average temperatures compared to the rest of the country. Beautiful view of the Golden Gate Bridge. Last week, if you were visiting and you couldn't see the Golden Gate Bridge at all, today is a perfect day to take pictures, and tomorrow should be much of the same as well before a bit more of that marine layer begins to work its way in. Temperatures are comfortable. Like I said, mid-60s in downtown San Francisco, 70s as you head in farther areas by the Bay and our South Bay, and then low 80s across our inland East Bay and North Bay. That is really, really nice for summertime. I think we'll take it because, again, it is going to stay this way for the next couple of days. There's not a big heat up or a huge cool down on the way. In fact, it might even get a degree or two cooler by mid to late tomorrow, or mid to late this upcoming week. But overall, it's the cloud coverage that we're talking about that's currently filling in across Southern California and Monterey Bay. That cloud coverage is going to eventually shift up farther north, and there is going to be the return of that typical May or June gloom pattern. We're not in May. In fact, we're almost in July. I can't believe it. We're going to continue to see these gloomier conditions, mainly for places farther south. Like I said, Monterey, Santa Cruz, over near Salinas, you're still seeing a little bit of that fog and that cloud coverage. And that's the reason that your temperatures are actually about 5 to nearly 10 degrees cooler in places like Santa Cruz, because you saw so much cloud coverage to start off the day, didn't allow those temperatures to heat up as much. The rest of the Bay Area is very similar today to what we felt yesterday, and that is going to be a very similar story tomorrow. So if you're planning on heading to the beach because you want to soak up the sunshine, I don't blame you, but please stay far away from the water because beach hazard statements are in effect, higher than normal rip current risk, sneaker wave potential, sticking around through early Wednesday morning. And I wouldn't be surprised if they actually did extend it, very similar to what we saw last week. So there is going to be a lot to talk about directly along the coast as the water is a bit churned up. But inland areas, sunny skies and seasonable temperatures will be the name of the game. Overnight tonight and into early tomorrow, we're expecting a bit more fog to fill up along the peninsula and especially down near Monterey Bay. It is going to be a foggy night and a foggy start to our morning tomorrow. By the afternoon hours, everybody, at least if you live along the peninsula, should begin to see a bit more sunshine. If you live down near Monterey Bay, though, even Santa Cruz, you could be seeing gloomy, cloudy conditions all day long. So if you really want to soak up the sunshine, you actually want to drive north up the peninsula today or tomorrow with those temperatures sitting in the comfortable category, mid-60s directly along the coast, mid to upper 70s for areas by the Bay, and you'll be sitting in the mid to upper 80s farther inland. But there is going to continue to be that gradual cool down. Look what happens by tomorrow or by Wednesday. You'll be seeing those inland areas likely returning to the low 80s to upper 70s. It's, again, not cold by any means, just a few degrees cooler than what we have been seeing. And the coast are going to return to the low 60s out there. We've been in the mid to upper 60s the past couple of days, but because of the increase in cloud coverage, it is definitely going to feel a bit cooler along the coast. It's also going to be a bit breezier on Wednesday and into Thursday, and you'll notice that cools down our temperatures a bit. Inland areas, you're likely going to be in the upper 70s to low 80s Wednesday and Thursday before warming right back up to the mid to maybe even upper 80s by later this week and into the weekend. So a little bit of a roller coaster ride on the way, a little bit of a ping pong back and forth, but there's really not one big hot day or one big cold day of the next 7. Areas by the Bay, very similar, staying in the upper 60s to low 70s with definitely more sunshine earlier in the week, a bit more cloud coverage moving in later. It's that early morning fog giving way to afternoon sunshine that we typically see this time of year, but along the coast, appreciate the sunshine while it lasts. That typical June gloom, or no sky July, I should say, should be returning by mid to late this week. Back to you.